Welcome to All Faiths Unitarian Congregation. My name is Michelle Gemma, and I will be leading our service today. We honor and greet the ancestors and descendants of the Calusa people, whose land we are grateful to call our home. We honor your legacy. Here you will find a diverse and inclusive spiritual community where we welcome people with many beliefs. You can bring your whole self, your full identity, your questioning mind, and expansive heart. At All Faiths, we have more than one way of experiencing the world and understanding the sacred. So no matter who you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, and no matter whom you love, you are truly welcome here. Is anyone here visiting for the first or second time? And if so, please raise your hand. Welcome. We're so glad that you're with us today. If you would like to know more about All Faiths, please see Fran Way, she's actually up here, or one of our greeters after our service, or at our welcoming corner, which is just beyond the folding doors, and we will help you. Or you can always visit our website, allfaithsuu.org. I have many announcements today and hope you take advantage of most of them. Upcoming events are listed on page 2 of your order of service, but I have a few to announce today. We invite the congregation to take advantage of News Talk on Sunday mornings, 9:15 to 10 a.m. This is a small group who loosely discuss topics in the news or other topics of the participants' desire and agreed upon. Currently, we have no official facilitator, but there are a few committed individuals who come together during our Sunday morning News Talk. However, it is our hope to formalize Sunday News Talk and offer it as an ad hoc civil discourse group. That will include debates with factual contents, and if you're interested in being part of this more formalized civil discourse, please join us on Sunday mornings as we plan to make this happen. We have a few fundraisers. Our fundraising play, The Vagina Monologues, will be presented on Saturday, February 10th at 2 p.m. Get your tickets for $20 each and come enjoy. Also, please get your raffle tickets for the beautiful, beautiful quilt made by Carol Elrod. Those are $25 per ticket. And also, don't forget, order your deli lunch for $10 for our February 18th Founders Day lunch. Now, I would like to invite Pam Falzer to come forward to give her pledge testimonial. Pam?
Should I be?
Okay.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Pam Falzer.
Pam, you got to put it to your face.
My name is Pam Falzer. I'm here to give testimony regarding what All Faiths has meant to me and why it is so important to support it with our actions and at this time of year with a new fiscal year starting with our dollars. I wanted to tell you how I got here. I had been a spiritual person without a spiritual home for a very long time. My longtime partner's life-threatening health issues made me realize I needed to find a spiritual home. I saw the rainbow flag, and I came in. It only got better after that. Listening to the words, and we heard some of them already this morning, spiritual, not religious, inclusive, diversity, more than one way to experience the sacred. No matter who you are, who you love, you are welcome here. By the end of that first service, I knew I had found my spiritual home.
Mm-hmm.
So what makes All Faiths so great? There's so many things. For me, the people, that's in capital letters. The sense of community, the loving connection, the genuine caring and kindness I experienced and see happening all the time. the inspirational messages and showing of spiritual journeys, an exploration of some of the many ways people experience the sacred. From CJ to members of this congregation, and now Albie, I feel my experience of the sacred expanding. And last but not least, the music. Thank you, Carlos, and the choir. What has been so meaningful for me, being part of a group with a common purpose and a belief in justice, equality, compassion, and peace. It has been a place to put these values into action, putting my money where my mouth is, so to speak. We'll get back to the money in a minute. Being involved in issues that matter, Rainbow Connection, racial equality, climate action, and homeless teams, all important. I chose the Rainbow Connection and homeless teams to be involved in. The outreach involvement, McGregor Clinic, the Mission Project, Mano Mano, the animal shelter, all ways to be a part of the solution, however small. The social activities. For me, it has been things like the book club, solos, Wednesdays, 10 o'clock scholar, now the new potluck once a month that's coming up. Most important, though, are the many wonderful people I have encountered and the friendships I have made. The first connection I made here was with, where is she, Fran Way. And we had in common that we were both nurse practitioners with a passion for the kind of work we did. So that was the first of many connections that I feel I've made here. In conclusion, for all these reasons, I do and will continue to support All Faiths any way I can with my actions and my dollars. 2 weeks ago, Annalie just about said it all using the dictionary. Last week, Frank sang, "That's what friends are for." I guess if I had to pick a song, it would be "We Are Family." You don't want to hear me. But we are family. This is our spiritual home. As Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz said, there's no place like home. And as family members, we need to take care of our home with our actions and with our dollars. I hope you too will give as generously as you can to the place we call home.
Now we'll hear
Greetings.
from Carlos.
Greetings, I'm Carlos Garcia, Director of Music. We will have our congregational sing-along for the chorus of the prelude and postlude today. It will be in the back of your order of service, but for right now, I invite you to please rise in body and spirit as we sing our opening hymn song, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In, number 361 in your hymnals.
Song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day.
Vision for Unitarian Universalism in a multicultural world. With humility and courage born of our history, we are called as Unitarian Universalists to build the beloved community where all souls are welcomed and the human family lives whole and reconciled. With this vision in our hearts and minds, we light our shadows. Now please join in singing Go Now in Peace as the children joined Child and Youth Program with Sharon Heinrich, and the words are printed on the order of your service.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Now, I'd like to ask everyone to close their eyes, take a deep breath, and let us turn our minds and our bodies to today's service and to contemplate our blessings.
Good morning, all faiths. Good morning. I missed you all last week. I'm glad to be back. There's no place like home. Click, click. So I'm going to share with you our opening words. But we have a ritual we are going to do as part of our opening words today. Today, as many of you know, I'm sure you're aware that this is the first Sunday of Black History Month. Many African Americans and people on the continent of Africa, in addition to our Asians and Latino communities, do what we call ancestor libations. We honor our ancestors. Often, even in Asian communities, veneration is also part of their honoring. So today, we're going to ask a few of our members and friends to come up and assist us as we share in our opening words and our libation to the ancestors. Now, just in case you're a little unclear, ancestors are people who have transitioned. They do not have to be old people. They can be very young people. But if they have transitioned, they're in a place that we do not know of, and they have elevated to ancestors. So today, let your hearts move into that place. As we know, without them, where would we be? How would we have come? Who would have cared for us? So we all popped out somehow. And there were some who popped out way before us, and it's because of them that we are here today. So in our libation and welcoming the ancestors, I'm going to call up Fran Way. And I see we have a little, we have to get around this. I'm just gonna move these a little closer to you, because Fran needs to get over to the water. Just move this a little closer to you. Come on, Fran. You're gonna go right on over here. Okay. And you can stand right there. Michelle's gonna help you from here.
It's okay.
Is that too heavy for you?
No.
Oh, okay. Speak loudly. Say what you want to say about Bob.
I am pouring this water in honor of my husband of 72 years. That was a long time that he shared with this community. We also produced 3 children and a son who inherited the musical talent, not from me, but from Bob, who has a beautiful baritone voice. And I am hoping that because he has retired to Florida with his wife, we can persuade Bobby to join us and share his voice once in a while. He has done this.
Lily Nieves, and Keiko Leonard. Whichever way you would like to do it. Speak into the microphone when it's your turn.
Usually, oh, I have to get to the microphone. Okay, can you hear me? Yes. Okay, great. Good morning. That she had alopecia, mental illness, and so forth and so on. So when you have a sibling, and she was my only sister, that would complain about ailments, all we could do was listen because we weren't sure who was talking to us. She had multiple personalities. And so, to all of her personalities, and to my dear sister, I put like her honor. Ibaye Mel-
And we are still very good friends. And I asked her if she would like to share a libation for a dear one.
Good morning. Good morning. I have to read because I cry a lot and I have to get through it. And so this morning I have the honor to pour libation in honor of mothers. My mom passed January 2nd at the age of 95. And so the mothers in my life, because I was adopted and I was blessed with two mothers. And sisters, Mother Mahalia Howard. These women are forever a part of me, and in their honor, I pour.
And in my haste and excitement to see my friends, to see Fran, to come up, and knowing that she's lost Bob, I forgot Spirit of Life. But I really am pulling it together, and I know you are also. So we will sing that, and then right after we sing that, I will invite all of you to silently or very softly remember your ancestors and your friends and places you've visited and those people and the lands of your heritage as I lead you in more pours. And Keiko and Lily, who've gone and sat down, will sing, and then they're going to come back up and they'll do the pours while I do the readings. We did practice this, but something happened. I think it was more of, we're just feeling what we feel, and I thank you all so very much for allowing us this extra time. Carlos.
Please rise in body as we sing number 1, 2, 3, Spirit of Life.
Keiko and Lily. The ritual of welcoming and honoring ancestors is an ancient spiritual practice found in many cultures and traditions. As I said, many African Americans, Asians, and Latino people do this regularly. So we have begun to pay tribute by expressing gratitude to our ancestors. From our histories, our ancestors called to us, asking whence we come, how and whither. We are grateful for their gifts, their lessons, and their challenge, calling us into accountability and responsibility to fulfill their hopes and aspirations for what they dreamed us to do. We call on and invoke our parents, our grandparents, our aunties, and our uncles, our siblings from across time and place to be here with us. We call on our ancestors of All Faiths Unitarian Congregation who built, grew, and dreamed this church and this community, this beloved community, into being. We call on those who represent peoples of Fort Myers, those who strove to build beloved community here in this geographic location, representing diverse cultures and traditions, including the indigenous peoples of different tribes. We call upon our activist ancestors, those who struggle for justice, for freedom, and liberation of all people, who challenge us to honor the fullness of each and every human being. We especially lift up those who battled the racism and oppression right here in Fort Myers, which is still alive today. They ask us to join the ongoing struggle to make this city whole. We call upon and honor the beauty of the earth, this particular part of creation that this congregation ministers in, the communities, our interconnectedness to nature and to the history of the land itself. And now we ask you to call to mind your own particular ancestors. You feel so inclined, you may softly whisper their names, your own particular ancestors, your family roots, spiritual mentors, and your guides. Each one of us brings into the room our own network of people, places, and things. And now, may our ancestors guide us on our way. May they bless this space and time and the work we are about to do. Please, everyone, join us in saying, ancestors be with us. Ancestors be with us. And so it is.
There's a small sing-along on page 2, just the chorus part.
Well, I could just sit around making music all day long. Long as I'm making music, I know I can't do nobody wrong. Who knows, maybe someday I'll come up with a song that makes people want to stop their fussing and fighting just as long as we sing along. I believe in music. I believe in love. Music is love, love is music, if you know what I mean. People who believe in music are the happiest people I've ever seen. Clap your hands, stomp your feet, shake your tambourine. Lift your voices up to the sky, we love it when you sing. I believe in music. I believe in love. Sing it to your children. language and love is the key to brotherhood and peace and understanding, to living in harmony. So take your sisters by the hand, sing along with me, and find out what it really means to be young and rich and free. Everybody sing. I believe in music. I believe in love. Sing it one more time. I believe in music. I believe in love.
We love to love our church. We love to love our church. The traditions, the history, and especially the people associated with it. And through these people, young and old, known and unknown, we reach out, both backward into history and forward into the future, to link together the generations in this imperfect but blessed community of memory and hope. Now please join as we sing together hymn 149, Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Choir members, come up and help sing. We'll be singing all three verses.
I guess we don't have to.
Oh goodness, I can't.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the darkness has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the presence has taught us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when for which our Father sighed. We have come over a way that the tears have been watered. We have come treading a path through the blood of the slaughtered. Outrun the gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the white queen might led us into the light. Keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadowed beneath
that song will always, and I believe forever, be a part of my soul. I have been hearing it since I was a little girl. And I remember mumbling the words, hoping that I had the right words. But that melody would never go away. And as I matured, I kept mumbling through the words, what to say. I really don't know all the words, but I heard it through the grapevine. That particular song is considered the African American national anthem. So if you've ever seen a bunch of us that look like me singing this song, particularly in a church, or at a funeral, or at a march, or at a gathering, you will see how it moves you, how it touches you. There's no mention of bombs. There's no rockets. It does not discuss war. War is never, ever celebratory. It is always mourning. We must pour the libations after wars, because that is the ultimate results of war. But not this song. Not this song. It talks about freedom. It talks about their God. It reminds you that to live fully is life, not to ponder on who I can overtake and kill. That is not living at all. We have our problems, we encounter different things, and people rise up and carry on, but that's not full living. That is not full living. I will never, ever believe that we came wherever we came from to kill each other off. So anytime we are happily marching into battle, you might stop being so happy about that. Your son, your daughter, your niece, your nephew, your mother, your father, your auntie, your uncles are going, and you may never see them again. Nothing to celebrate. And I'll say that again. This country had to fight a civil war so the people who look like me can actually experience freedom, humanness. No longer are we 1/5 of a person. Today's the first Sunday of Black History Month, so you should know. I'm going to talk about it already, let you know. Okay? So, here we go. The song. It is a reminder of faith in the triumph over harsh atrocities endured during the long night of slavery, the very long night. It was originally written as a poem and a prayer of thanksgiving for freedom and for faithfulness by African American brothers, two brothers. One of the brothers wrote the poem to honor Abraham Lincoln. However, amid the ongoing civil rights movement, James Johson decided to write a poem which was themed around the struggles of African Americans following the Reconstruction era. This goes back, Reconstruction, including the passage of Jim Crow laws in the South. Lift Every Voice and Sing was first recited by a group of 500 students in 1900. And later his brother, J. Rosamond Johson, will later set the poem to music. And that's what we did just a few minutes ago. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, choir. We did our best. This morning, I'm excited to share with you that for the first time, I'm using my tablet. So if I suddenly lose my place, and you see me doing all of this, it's my first time using it. I usually print it, but I'm thinking, okay, technology is here. You can do this. I saw our own Bob Moore come up here and do it one Sunday, and I said to myself, well, if he could do it, I could do it. So I'm excited to use my machine and to share with you in regards to Black History Month. I'm going to talk about what I like to call the magic of music. Some of you may have heard me share this before, and I do not apologize for sharing it again. It's like going to an old book. I know that book. It's like going to the movies. I've seen that movie. As a matter of fact, I brought that movie. I play that movie. I know what's going to happen, but we do it anyway because it brings us a sense of comfort. So I hope that those of you who have heard me share the magic of music before, that you're comforted again. And for those of you who will hear it for the first time, I hope that you are also comforted. Okay, so this is the time to celebrate. So why not celebrate with music? The magic of music. Achievements of African Americans, particularly those who are descendants of slaves here in the United States. There's a very rich contribution of African Americans that we have often overlooked. And now we are all aware here in Florida that it has become illegal. So not only is it often overlooked, but our history being taught in schools has suddenly become a little fuzzy. We're going to make it nice because slavery was nice. Oh, help me? Okay. It was not nice. You all know it wasn't nice. Do not be deceived. There's a history of a people whose blood, sweat, tears, and genius literally were shed and overlooked while building the vast wealth of this country. In fact, just down the road, we pass by Thomas Edison Winter Estates regularly. You probably know who built it. How many of us are aware that it was Lewis Latimer, an African-American inventor and draftsman who worked with Thomas Edison in the late 19th century and assisted Edison with his patents? He called to Latimer, help me to get these patents. Why would he do that? Well, it was in 1880 that Latimer began working for the United States Electric Company, which was run by Edison's rival, Hiram S. Maxim. And while working for Maxim, listen to what Latimer did. Latimer invented and patented a process for making carbon filaments for light bulbs and helped install broad-scale lighting systems for New York City. And if there's ever a city full of lights, it's New York, Philadelphia, Montreal, and London. Latimer held or holds the patents for the electric lamp issued in 1881 and for the process of manufacturing carbons, which we know is the filament used in incandescent light bulbs. That was issued in 1882. And Latimer went on to write a book, Incandescent Electric Lighting, a practical description of the Edison system. And it was a comprehensive guide to the Edison light bulb system and was published in 1890. So in summary, really quick, he played a crucial role in the development of the incandescent light bulb and the electric industry as we know it today. There's a little something down there if we go and look at it that kind of points out that Latimer had something to do with it. And that's it. There's no estate. Nobody wants to go and find out what happened to him. It's as if it didn't happen. And yet, I know it happened and now you do too. We must not bury the history of the country of which we live in. If you have to dig, go on and dig. But learn about the country you call home. So the next time we are singing, we remember that it wasn't always about wars, but it was about a people who were left behind, as if they didn't exist. But we're still here. You will never get rid of us. And you know what I wonder? I wonder, in schools, if they even mention Lewis Latimer. Is he also illegal? Yeah, listen to all of the talk. What? But today, my friends, it is with great pride that I'm going to share with you one of the most prevalent, communicable, and experiential gifts received from the sound of blackness. So let me set it up. A few years ago, I used to write blogs. I was a busy person. So I was writing on my blogs and putting them out there for the world to see. And I had this one particular blog called The Magic of Music. I put that out there, and it was the one that got the most likes and comments than all the other blogs that I wrote. So I was like, oh, they like this. Oh, this is a good one. Don't lose it. So that's what I'm going to share, a couple of excerpts from my blog. Now, I had to edit it a little bit to include some quotes from a few people, but most of it basically remains the same. And again, like I said, I chose it because everybody seemed to like it. And like when people like something you do, you just keep giving them more of it. So that's what I did. Okay, so the joy, the sound of harmony, of music, and of song. I can't remember when my love affair with the magic of music began, but I'm sure it was at a young age. I can recall the family dancing to the Motown sound, and while watching cartoons like Bugs Bunny and other classic Looney Tunes, the classic ones, I remember hearing classical music in the background. Who can forget the Hollywood musicals? You know, it was a strange way it was when we were smaller, and the way that they would weave in certain music. Who would have known that I was listening to classical music and liking it while I was a child? I didn't know what it was, but it was speaking to me. Okay, yeah, who, Beethoven, is he black? It was strange things that would happen. But, yeah, and then I started staying up late, and at 11 o'clock at night, on weeknights, they would have all these Hollywood musicals, and Fred Astaire and all them were out there dancing. And then I got to learn standards. It's like, yes, I love standards to this day. And I began to realize that there are really no boundaries in music. No boundaries. In fact, I've heard it said that music is the international language, that we all speak music. And I believe it is true. And yet, despite how universal the experience of music is, there's still so much that we do not know about it and its effects on our bodies and mind. I look at Carlos because he is our director of music, and I know he's, yeah, I know. There's this famed anthropologist, his name is Claude Levi-Strauss, and he once said that music is the supreme mystery of human knowledge, the supreme mystery. Why? What mysterious? It can be mysterious. Like I said, it speaks to everybody in its own way. Mysterious though it may be, scientists have discovered a few interesting facts and theories about music. Some of the most common musical phenomenon we all experience is the one that we all know about. I got this song stuck in my mind. I don't even like that song. Why is that playing over and over again? And it gets so bad that you could just be walking along, and all of a sudden you're singing the song. I don't even like that song. But why am I singing? When am I rocking them? It's just, why am I getting stuck on the song? So when I was writing that blog, I thought to myself, you need to find that out right away. So I looked it up. So these several scientific studies came along, and they called it a phenomenon. The phenomenon that we are experiencing when a song is stuck in your mind is called an earworm. And it's strange, right? Because when I first heard about it, I thought, earworm. And I know I shouldn't think about it, but my mind went right to one of those like parasite things that get stuck in your leg when you're traveling, so when I pull it out. It's a strange thing, the way that we relate things together. But I thought worm and I thought parasite. And obviously, an earworm is not a parasite, but it feels like one when it keeps coming to you. Why am I singing this song? But we all have experienced an earworm. So scientists went on and they tried to figure out, well, let's study this earworm phenomenon. So they went about, that's the string. So they went about it. We're going to study this. But they couldn't, because you can't figure out when it's going to happen. Nobody knows when you're going to get one. So it was hard to try and study it. It was difficult. So they said, well, let's see if we can figure out when it starts to happen. Well, they said, well, it's at random times. No, well, I didn't have to be a scientist, nor do you, to figure out that it's random. It's strange, right? So that's okay, well, it often occurs when your mind is zoned out, maybe doing a mundane activity like sweeping the floor or just driving along. Sometimes it happens as soon as you put your foot on the side of the bed, you step out of the bed, Da, 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 da. All of a sudden you're singing Lift Every Voice and singing. Why? I don't know. They sang it in church 2 days ago. But anyway, these things happen to you. So what they found out is that they could not predict when it was going to happen. They couldn't figure out what to do to make it happen. So they just left it. All they said is, oh, these conditions are not that easy to replicate in the laboratory. That was the end of that. Okay? So earworms, we at least know what it is. And there's also been studies regarding being tone deaf or bad at singing. You know, not everyone has the courage to sing in public. Some even fear that if they so much as open their mouth in song or melody, everyone in the room is just going to cover their ears and the glass is going to shatter. But there is a reason, a genuine reason, why some people just can't seem to find that pitch. It's real. But there's a difference between being truly pitch challenged and having an untrained singing voice. There is a difference. The inability to follow a tune or to differentiate between pitches has a name, and it is called amusia, A-M-U-S-I-A, amusia. Yeah, amusing. And researchers have found that it occurs in about 1 out of every 20 people. So it's not that many of you here today, but I figure it's because of the weather and all. You know, I'm thinking, I know they wanted to come here about black music, so it couldn't possibly be what I'm going to share about, so it must have been the weather. Anyway, 1 in every 20 people. So if you look around and you think about the 20, 1, 2, 3, you know, there's several of you in here right now that just don't know what's going on. They've been lip syncing all the time. You think, like Nilly Banilly or whatever that group was. And so that's what they were actually up to doing. But it is true. Some people they just can't figure it out. They have amusia. 1 in every 20 people. But music still has an effect on us. Music and melody. It has effects not just on people, but even animals are attracted to the mysterious sound of music. So, being that this, again, like I said, is the first Sunday of Black History Month, and I'll let you know, I'll set you up right now. I will not talk about Black history for the rest of the month. This is it. You get 1. So, now you know if you want it, I can give it to you, but I'll try my best. But I want to just give you a couple of facts as I go through the history of music and contribution that African Americans have done, offered or given to our great country called America. This rich history has a timeline. It starts all the way back in 1600s. And we know why? Because we know what happened in 1619. I will not give you that history. Africans enslaved here brought with them their rhythms, their music, the rhythms they shared and participated in at their own tribes when they were at work and play in Africa. Now, there are at least 3 tracks that we can take to explore the contribution of African American music. They are sacred, secular, and secular instrumental. So I'm just going to go through really fast because there's a lot. We went from humming African rhythms to work and field songs to street calls or call and response to protest songs and syncopated dance, the secular. There are folk spirituals like Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, small concert spirits that led to rural gospel music, the sacred. I even remember going and kind of like following, there's going to be a quartet over at this schoolyard or auditorium or this particular church, and I'm going to hear this quartet, and they're all the way from Alabama, and I'm going to hear they're going to sing some great spirituals, and we're going to be rocking and clapping, and it was a wonderful thing. And I would track them down. I was kind of like a follower. Oh, they're going to be at this place. And I would go. So there you have the sacred. And then the syncopated brass bands. Oh, we know all about, we think about going to New Orleans, it's like, okay, do-do-do-bop-bop. So the secular instrumental. But today, let's just talk for a while about music and its magic. You see, to me, music is pervasive. It gets in us. When we are in our youth, we remember lyrics and rhythms, but we may not really understand what those words mean. But for somehow we memorize them, we just sing it along, you know. I've actually been in church many years ago, and it was a young girl, she was so very talented, and she gets up and she sings this beautiful religious song. And she sang it so beautifully. And I remember listening to a woman probably about the age I am now say, if she keeps living, she'll sing that song differently. And she was right. Yeah, because those words started to mean something to her now. She started to actually apply them. So as she sang that same song, I watched her emerge and get better with singing it. But now she's not just singing the words and the tone and the notes, but she's singing it with feeling, with emotion. You can see something in her. That's when the music starts to talk to you. That's when, I don't really know this song, but something is happening inside of me. You see, the rhythms, they may not be clearly, children, we, us, we may not clearly comprehend what it all means, but somehow we still learn from it. It becomes something that we recognize as a sweet familiarity. But I still question, well, why do we like it so much? Why do we like music? Words are not simply spoken, but made into melody, becoming lyrical. But what are we receiving? What is actually happening? I think about children and how they experience music and learn something from it, just as we adults do. But with adults, our emotions become more engaged. We understand. But those children, you see, to a child, they don't get all of the words. They can't figure it all out. But somehow, it touches them. I'm not really sure what it is. Can it be the patterns, the sound, the rhythms, the metrical, da, da, da? It's somehow or another, it seems to calm them. I personally believe that there is a lesson here. Music brings them, our babies, our children, somehow or another, it brings them peace. Why do we do the lullaby? We know it brings them a little peace. It's an amazing thing. I have a niece. She has a little heavy voice. She has 2 sets of twins. The first set comes me and my sister, which would be her mother. Why don't you sing the twins a song? Okay, why don't you sing the Itsy Bitsy Spider? And my niece, who we did not know, was tone deaf, had a pitch problem. Uh-oh, here comes Ed. It's not me. Okay, so she said, the Itsy Bitsy Spider. And I thought, oh my God, she's scaring the children. Those babies just smiling and grinning at mommy. They knew mommy's voice already. They'd been hearing it ever since they were inside. Right? So to me, I'm like, what an awful voice. But to them, those little they were so happy. And she, Itsy Bitsy Spider. I was like, oh no, you're scaring the babies. Stop singing. But that's music for you. They connected to the love of mommy and a little bit of melody and went with it. So I believe the peace and relief found in music also soothe our unchained and chained settlers, which includes the African Americans and indigenous people here. There's this writer, his name is Stephen Lewis, and he writes for the National Museum of African American History, Culture, Roots, and da-da-ba-ba-ba, it's a whole bunch. Anyway, he gives us these points about music. I'm gonna share 3. Number 1, African American influences in music are so fundamental to American music that there would be no American music without them. Really? The rich American musical heritage that their ancestors carried with them was part of the foundation of a new American musical culture that mixed African traditions with those of Europe and the Americas. And 3, the work songs, dance tunes, and religious music and syncopated swing remixed rock and rap music of their descendants would become the lingua franca. That's a special word, I'll tell you what it means, 2 words, of American music, eventually influencing Americans of all racial and ethnic backgrounds. Lingua franca. Lingua franca is a language that is adopted as a common language between speakers whose native languages are different. For example, you go to Jamaica, patois. You go to Haiti, Creole. Call it native tongues, the mother tongue. I believe music is the mother tongue, the language spoken by the masses, and at times this language is indeed without words. We call it instrumentals, or music without explicit meaning. Yet somehow again, it speaks to our emotions and unlocks mysteries within our soul, and we respond. How do you know we respond? So the song is playing. How hard is it for you to just hold still? You hear that song, and I may not be able to get that rhythm right, but I can't hold still. I have to move. Oh, I think I know that tune. And we start to hum. Sometimes we think, well, that's instrumental. And we just make up words. And then we sing them. And we go on. We make up words and we hear music. We start to dedicate them to each other and honor our God, our sacred deities in music, song, and dance. We even go to war in melody and prepare for it in harmony. We build instruments to make music and will readily use any tools we find to make music, including our hands and feet. If I did not have this mic, I would demonstrate. Further, Stephen Lewis shares that some of our most common instruments were brought to the Americas by Black Americans during the long night of slavery. And one of those we call, get ready, the banjo. Who would have thought? When I looked that up, I said to myself, what? The banjo? We brought the banjo? Well, okay, the earliest banjos were likely based on African lutes. You see, my friends, the lute was one of the most important instruments in early African American music. And though seldom associated with African Americans in contemporary pop culture, it is a classic example of the way that African Americans blended African and European musical traditions together here in the United States. And over the course of centuries, banjo makers gradually adapted their instruments to conform to European tuning systems, resulting in a truly American instrument that incorporated Western music theory, even as is designed recalled as African models. So how about that? The next time you see the banjo, you're gonna think twice about that up with them hillbillies. And in the late 19th century, African American musicians combined popular songs and marches with African American folk forms like ragtime, sacred music, and the blues to create a new form of heavily syncopated and improv music. You know what we call that? We gave it a name, jazz. Jazz. And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like jazz. That's okay, you don't have to like it. But we still call it jazz. And today, jazz occupies such a central place right here in America in our cultural heritage that many jazz fans and scholars call it America's classical music. Oh, don't mess with Americans. We get over here and start doing stuff. Yeah, we just gonna get our own classical music later for all of those people. Yeah, we got our own right here. Traditional classical music. We have a love-hate relationship with traditional classical music, and many of us have a love-hate relationship with jazz music. I don't really know what is that all about. But it is what it is. Love-hate relationship. And let us not forget what we all waiting for me to say. Rock and roll. The roots of rock and roll also lay in African American music in the forms of blues and gospel. As the great African American migration brought many African Americans to the cities of the North, and the sounds of rhythm and blues came with us. And guess what started happening? It attracted the suburban teens. Not my babies. There was this disc jockey. His name was Alan Freed. Got any people here from Ohio? Oh, I got a hand there going, okay. So you know Alan Freed from Cleveland or in Cleveland, he is credited with coining the phrase rock and roll. And rock and roll was everything the suburban 1950s were not. So you remember,
Our parents were getting it with Frank Sinatra and the big bands and Nat King Cole and Johnny Mathis, while their children were in there with a whole new beat. In fact, to the horror of their older generation, their children were singing, twisting, thrusting, bumping, and grinding to the sounds of rock and roll and rhythm and blues. And then years went by and the 80s came. And another form emerged from the inner cities, and we called it rap or hip hop. There's all kinds of rap music now, and it's gone all over the world. And today, I must admit that when I heard my children downstairs in the basement when I lived in New York playing some rap music and it had some cuss words in it, I reacted just like the parents of yesteryear. Okay, I stumbled down those stairs and I grumbled and mumbled to my children, and I probably sound just like my mother sounded and just like her mother sounded, but I'm not having that in my house, and I just carried on. And well, I'm sure that many of you experienced that with rock and roll. It was just not that pleasing to our parents. And although we magnificent creatures have developed multiple forms of music, genres, and instruments, if we listen, we can even observe music in nature. The birds sing, the steadiness of the tide going in and out, even the ripples, even our body has a natural rhythm. Remember? If that stops, it's over. But that sound soothe your baby. Is it a wonder why when you do a melody with them, or you're singing, or you're playing something, that they're kind of drawn to it from the moment that they were able to hear? They had rhythm. Listening to mommy's heartbeat. Music touches the soul. It goes beyond our consciousness, lodges in your subconsciousness, and there it merges with us, and we begin to yield. We are both possessed and the possessor. What is it that we are melding with? Well, as I close, I can remember an R&B song by an R&B group, obviously, the OJs. Who sang in perfect harmony why they love music. The entire song is equated with love. Can it be that the magic of music is the love that it involves? Can it be that music has always been the answer? Can it be true that what the world needs now is love, sweet love? It's the only thing that there's just too little of? Oh, those lyrics. Oh, those melodies. Won't you join with me and let the music of love wash over you today and every day and bring you peace? May it be so. Amen and Ashe. Because it's real. Two stoners working from home. One says to the other, "Hey dude, I keep hearing music coming from the printer." The other one goes, "Oh yeah? I think the papers are just jamming, man." We appreciate your generous donations, which support our dedicated staff and facilities, inspiring services, interesting activities, and social outreach. We invite our visitors to please place their completed visitor cards in the basket. And if you are with us live stream, you can mail your checks or visit our website allfaithsuu.org. Our offering will now be taken. Thank you so much.
As music is very special to me and for all of you in many ways, I appreciate that you all always have the most welcoming thank yous and appreciate my music, so I thank you in return. And this little ABBA tune is almost coming from my words to you, so thank you for the music. I'm nothing special, in fact, I'm a bit of a bore. If I tell a joke, you've probably heard it before. But I have a talent, a wonderful thing, 'cause everyone listens when I start to sing. I'm so grateful and proud. All I want is to sing it out loud. So I say thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What will life be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. Mother says I was a dancer before I could walk. She says I began to sing long before I could talk. And I've often wondered, how did it all start? Who found out that nothing can capture a heart like a melody can? Well, whoever it was, I'm a fan. So I say thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy I'm bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What will life be without a song or dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. I've been so lucky, I get to play for all of you. I changed the words. I want to sing it out to everybody. What a joy, what a life, what a chance. Thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy I'm bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What would life be without a song or dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. Thank you.
Oh,
I know. I guess on.
I'll just use this one. Thank you for the music. Okay. Closing words this morning. Be about the work. May we see all as it is, and may it all be as we see it. May we be the ones to make it as it should be. For if not us, who? If not now, when? This is the answering cry of justice with the work of peace. This is redeeming the pain of history and with the grace of wisdom. This is the work we are called to do, and this is the call we answer now. To be the barrier and the bridge, to be the living embodiment of our principles, to be about the work of building the beloved community, and to be a people of intention and a people of conscience. May it be so.
May it be so.
Amen. And Ashe.
All right, this is the song we've sang a couple times in the past. The choir is now going to come up and sing with you. I want to sing. And the choir will sing the third one in the back of the order of service that I want to sing first. Then we're going to go through all three. We invite you to sing along with us. Then we're going to sing it 3 more times as a round, and you get to pick any one of those 3 you want to sing. The choir will sing all 3 at the same time. You get to pick any one of those 3, but first the choir, then we'll go through all 3 together, then the rounds. All right. Let's give it a whirl.
Come on. Yeah, right into
Choir, we are going to begin with I Want to Sing. 1, 2, 3. I want to sing, sing, sing. I want to dance, dance, dance. I want to sing, I want to dance. Hallelujah. When those gates are open wide, I'll be standing by your side. I want to sing, I want to dance. Hallelujah. First verse, everybody. Swing low. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. When the saints, oh, when the saints go marching in, oh, when the saints go marching in, I wanna be in that number when the saints go marching in. I wanna sing, I wanna sing, sing, sing. I wanna dance, dance, dance. I wanna sing, I wanna dance. Hallelujah. When those gates are open wide, I'll be standing by your side. I wanna sing, I wanna dance. Hallelujah. All 3, pick any verse you want. 1, 2, sing. I wanna sing, sing, sing. I wanna chariot. I wanna sing, I wanna carry me home. I wanna sing, I wanna carry me home. Second time, sweet. Pick another verse. Last time, I wanna sing, sing, sing. I wanna dance, dance, dance. I wanna sing, I wanna carry hallelujah. When those gates are open wide, I'll be standing by your side. I wanna sing, I wanna carry hallelujah. Yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was lovely. As Joyce Schaefer comes forward, please join in reciting the words in the order of your service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of our community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world. Thank you. We want to thank Alberita Johson for her message today. We thank Carlos Garcia in the choir for the music and all the others who make our gathering here each week so special. It is good to be connected in whatever way we can. And if anyone's interested in knowing, we will be saving some of this water for our upcoming water communion. So please join us for birthday cake, coffee, and conversation in the social hall. And please buy your tickets, your raffle tickets, become a part of us.
And
In the
wait,
play, in the play.
Speaking of music, we have one more song.
Okay.
Miss Alberita's birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Albie. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Yeah. And many more.
When you get a certain age, we just stop doing the second part. Right, how old are you now does not matter. That you're still here is what really matters.